Hi, today I wanted to shortly talk about SEO in general, what I think about the complexity of SEO, and actually, I think that SEO is not a science, it's also not something you can study at university. It's maybe something like an art. I got inspired by this last video that Alex of Evergreen Media has published. It's, I think, maybe the first video that he did in English language, and I was actually commenting on that. And I think it's really, really useful also to, do an interview in English language, because there are so many people who want to learn more about good SEO practices, best practices, and so on. And while he was talking with his interview partner, I was thinking again about how complex SEO actually is. And it's actually going into many different areas. Like you have, of course, web development, you have also content writing, then you need to probably have a good idea of marketing, positioning, digital strategies, of course, off page. And that's not only link building, but also social media marketing, YouTubing, podcasting, using Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, maybe even go on fairs or join events, conferences where you can make connections in real life, and then maybe you connect with some of the people afterwards. And I think SEO is so interesting to my mind, also because it's not enough to just be good at, let's say, coding and be able to make a website very fast. So of course page speed plays a role, but I think it's true what Alex and what he discussed in this last episode, that content, for example, is super important. And when in doubt, content is certainly something that you have to prioritize more than improving the page speed from 1.2 seconds to 0.9. Yeah. And of course, technique or technology plays a big role, but Google is getting better and better. And of course, in the end, what also Google says is that they want to rank websites higher that create value right away and answer questions that people with certain search intentions have. I actually got asked by some team members regarding this, how to start also, and do I have to, let's say, learn everything if I'm a content writer or web designer or so. It's not easy to answer, because you have so many topics that are actually in the responsibility of not necessarily only one person, but for example, the H1s, H2s, H3s, technically they can already be implemented by the programmer, but it could also be that the content writer is implementing them, or even the clients themselves. If you do SEO as a freelancer or in an agency for a client, they could also work on that and define good headings. And that also makes it a bit more difficult, that it's not only the responsibility of one person, and you can say, content writer has overlooked it, or the SEO technician, or maybe the web designer has created a website with 5 H1 headings, and didn't care too much about other H2, H3, H4. Ideally, each team member, especially in an agency, has a set of skills that covers the basics. And then the more specific it gets, of course, you have more specialists that can look into it. For example, I do have a little bit of experience. I've been doing SEO for about 12 years. Of course, in some years more intense, in some years less. But of course, in the past months with Corona, there were many people, many businesses joining us, and we are working on many websites every day. And in the past 12 years, I was happy to work on more than 1,500 websites from all over the world. And of course, that gives you a lot of practical insights, and then you can prioritize better what you work on first in order to improve the rankings of a website. And if you start out with SEO, it's of course so many topics, and you might think, oh, where do I start? And if you think about philosophy, it's also, if you try to discuss a topic in philosophy, it's also it's my printer now, sorry. You start to think about certain aspects of a topic, and then the more you read about a topic and the more you think about it, the more you will understand other aspects. And it's like a network. You start maybe on one side or from the other, and then you have some lines that will cross or that will enhance each other maybe. So the starting point should be as much as or as easy as possible. Start with the basics. To my mind, again, it's certainly HTML, and also writing good content that is giving a lot of answers to questions that people have. The keyword research is certainly something you need to master or improve. Keyword research by itself is very complex. I mean, we were just talking with a new client today, and this was another very good example that we as SEOs can also still learn so much from business owners or from marketing people who have maybe a different approach to describing the business, describing the keywords that are really important and convert. And then maybe potential clients also have other keywords they are looking for or searching for. So it's also ever evolving. So it's not like, okay, I'm gonna research a few keywords now, and then I do my on-site and write a few pages, and that's enough for the next 12, 24 months. It's not like that. You would probably have to review your keywords, your keyword allocations regularly, maybe at least once a month when you write your report. And then you review your strategy or adjust it, also dependent on Google Analytics data. Maybe you see that some pages convert better than others, and you see in Google Search Console that you have all of a sudden a much better click-through rate for certain phrases, or maybe not enough click-throughs, and so on and so on. Yeah, for me anyway, SEO is an art. Again, it's not a science, because it's not that you can always explain causalities. It's every website is different, has different factors, has a different history, different set of backlinks, and so on. So you would have to test a lot and just try to find ways to improve everything in theory. So yeah, that was just a few thoughts that came to my mind during the past couple of days, where we had also more discussions in the team about SEO and how to get started. And maybe this also helps you a little bit better to understand the complexity of SEO, and at the same time, you feel maybe motivated to learn more. And it's really about learning every day. Read a lot, maybe talk with other SEOs or webmasters about certain techniques maybe that were helping you. And yeah, that's also one exciting thing. SEO is changing a lot not every day, but maybe every month. But at the same time, we have some factors, some truths, if you want to say, that are kind of eternal and have been true since search engines started to, collect data and rank websites. All right, thanks so much again for watching, and yeah, send us some, or me or the whole team, some questions, leave comments if you want to know more about this, and we hope that we contribute in creating more knowledge and maybe helping people to become more professional in this field. All right, thanks again, and talk soon.